Hello and welcome to the Trampled Bat Podcast, episode 121. My name's Gary Black and joining me this week is Chris Conroy and John Walker.
Hello.
I'm feeling really good and positive this week. I've had that change.
I don't know.
A big change.
I feel like we've been space jammed and we've got Gary's microphone in front of us or something.
Or like Face Off. And Nicolas Cage and John Travolta have stolen my face and ran away. Face Off 2.
They've both got your face.
2 faces off.
Cool.
Not 1 face off, 2 absconders.
Is that like they take your face off? Wait
I'm
for
saying
it
nothing
to
upbeat to make you laugh to go into the intro this week. Start the podcast.
So
I'm going to put a ban hammer on Gary starting every segment and sentence with
So.
But
Does
Joe, it's brilliant now that I mentioned it, Gary. You're going to hear it.
Does it?
No, I know I do it. I just don't have any other way of getting in.
Perfect.
Well,
have you seen?
Do you not just edit it out when you do the...
No, leave it because it's amazing. I listened to it and I giggled to myself going, I remember thinking he's going to say so here.
Do you listen to any podcasts and a vocal tickle start to get to you?
yeah.
But name them?
No, I don't want to give them the publicity. They're our rivals.
It's not necessarily focal tics, but I hate that Joe Rogan signs off with a kiss on his butt and does a proper... It does my fucking box and I have to stop it. If I don't stop it before I hear that bit, I get really annoyed at myself. Fuck, I heard it.
We shouldn't give Joe Rogan the publicity.
You're right. It's he's not done it for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, see if anybody's got any recommendations for a good crime or murder podcast. Could you just leave it on our Twitter? Cool.
Have you listened to All Killer No Filler?
No.
It's about serial killers.
Yeah, I know who it is. I know what it is.
You're not interested?
Not my way yet.
We have a couple of deaths this week of the kind of celebrity variety.
I mean, this is really going to challenge your upbeat nature now, Gary.
It's two people who are become famous, more famous for dying than they were.
It depends on what you were into. Like for
Of
people,
course.
for people who followed ICW, I mean, I was never involved. I never really went. I think my mate Beatty and that went to it once, like one of their version of WrestleMania, like a few years ago at the Barras.
Yeah, what's that called?
Fear and Loathing.
Yep.
There is a lot of different variations. I think there's half a dozen sort of different ones we'll do through the year.
So he was the current heavyweight champion?
Yeah, I think.
So, fuck.
So this is Adrian Lionheart McCallum, who's a Scottish wrestler, but I think he was originally from the Midlands or something.
Right.
Passed away during the week.
It's just another wrestler young, isn't it?
36.
36. Fucking hell.
So it was, I mean, we're led to believe it was suicide. Is that being confirmed?
No, I don't. Whether
They don't tend to come out and confirm.
Well, he came on Twitter, didn't he?
Yeah.
And left one message, which made it seem like that was either his suicide note to everyone, or he just came on Twitter and seen what it was like, and went, "This world is fucking done, man." I've been on 2 seconds and I've done something wrong.
Do you know what? It's just another young person who's seemingly doing quite well in their professional life, and do you know what? It doesn't get confirmed as taking your own life or death by suicide, but
Doesn't really matter, does it?
it's just another person away too early, isn't it? Like, and there seems to be more and more and more and more and more and more.
I was reading a thing during the week talking about how men in particular feel like they've got to be there for everybody else and not really taking care of themselves.
Right.
And that's why male statistics are a lot higher.
That's changing though. So what is it? Girls under 18 have got like a ridiculously high increase in suicide now.
Yeah.
And that's why there's a book. I'm never going to be able to recall who wrote it, but there's a book on it, and it's like, I think it's risen in America by like 38% or something like that. Like teenage girls committing suicide, which is like, I don't know what the figure was before. Like it could have been 3 and it's now 4, and that's almost 38. But That figure seems like fucking mental. So they're now saying that this is definitely 100% to do with social media. It has to be.
Yeah.
There's no other impact that's happened for young people to have this spike.
But do you think that's because it changes expectations?
Comparison, I think I love that we have no degrees in this, but I'm just going to give my opinion on it anyway.
Well, that's what we do here.
You used to be able to be bullied at school, and that was it.
And you could go home and shut your door. Yeah.
But even at that, for some people it kind of did give you the wee bit of like, fuck, I need to deal with this. I can't just let some people, not all, but then now literally you go home and people can bully you till you go to sleep, and the minute you wake up, they can bully you on Facebook.
It's like shift patterns have changed, or like Asda's open all day.
You're now full. You're now self-serve checkouts open the whole time.
You actually have to turn the lights out and go, no, that's it.
You need to be off. Like I always remember this. I remember when I was at high school in Limwood High, and I think there's a few people that listen to this. I was in third year maths, and I had to go up to the teacher. We had to go up with your answers when you're finished. So I was such a wee fucking swatty cunt in school.
Were you?
So I finished my thing first and was straight up. Was like, there you go. And everyone was laughing, and I just assumed it was because I was a fucking wee geek. Everyone was laughing at me. But I went to the next class, and on the way to class, a girl that was in my class went like at me, your trousers are burst at the arse. Now, only the 20 odd people in that class seen that. They told everyone.
Yeah.
But nobody else seen it. Now somebody could have taken a picture of that, and thousands of people outside my school would know that I had that done to me, and I'd have to deal with that and process that.
Did you see the Jack White interview during the week? I'm talking about mobile phones.
No.
And he claimed in this interview, I think it was with the BBC, that he didn't even own a mobile phone. And he trialled a thing last year when he was gigging. I think it was one of my friends, Brian Kennedy, went to see him in Edinburgh. At one of the theatres. I can't remember which one it was. So Brian went to it, but he says when you got to the gig, they made you put your mobile phone in that bag into the side, similar to what Chris Rock did.
Yeah.
So he was talking about that. He says, we just thought we'd try it as some, experiment, and you found we thought people were going to go crazy about it, and it would then become art. The release of emotion about being told that you couldn't take your phone in, but the feedback was that people quite enjoyed somebody telling them that they couldn't have their phone. The decision was made for them, and that was it. But then he's putting forward this idea that he doesn't own a mobile phone, and as soon as the interview went up, a journalist that had written something negative about Jack White tweeted going, "This is just a blatant fucking lie. He phoned me from his mobile 2 years ago to say, I don't like what you fucking wrote about me in the magazine." So he's phoned from his but to now pretend that he's never owned a mobile phone and that the concept is just a little bit weird to him.
I can 100% guarantee that he has owned a mobile phone in the past.
Okay.
I've spoken to him when he phoned from a mobile phone.
There you go. First-hand
evidence.
First-hand evidence in the Gary Black, Jack White, monochrome mobile phone surname war.
Could he also not have an assistant that has a mobile for him?
And why would you not his bass player and it called Black and White?
I know.
Oh my God. That opportunity.
I was too handsome.
He probably suggested it to Gary, and Gary was like, I'll need to get back to you. I'm waiting to hear for a job for DF just now, so...
So, what did Jack White say to you on his mobile phone?
Is Karen there? And I said, no, she's away for lunch just now. Can I help? And he said, tell her Jack phoned. I'm just trying to find out if my guitar is going to be delivered or I need to go and pick it up.
Is this the number we can get you on, Jack? Yes, this is my mobile phone.
Tell her to just phone my mobile.
But she has the number. But to sit there and go, well, I'm special because I've never owned a mobile phone. See the amount of times I think about just buying a brick. See like a 30 quid brick out of Asda and buying a lot of it. And fucking should. It's a horrible thing.
I feel like...
especially during this fucking period where the transfer window's open. There's no fucking business going to get done at 5 to 1 on a Wednesday morning. Like, put the phone away and go to sleep.
Well, that was the beautiful thing about actual sport roundup at 6 PM, specifically in STV, like 20 years ago was people had to wait to make sure a transfer was confirmed before millions of people spoke about it for 5 weeks.
It's not a true transfer until Rahman Bajwan confirms it.
Exactly. That was it.
Birdwatch.
But I feel like I'm a hypocrite with the whole phone thing as well, because like,
Rahman.
I boasted so much about being off Facebook and Instagram, but like I'm still very active on Twitter. So like I'm like a smoker that's like quit, but I'm still vaping, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
No, I only smoke menthols.
I'm only vaping, or vape less, and it's actually not proven to be bad for you yet.
Yet. MD that is worried about vaping, there's a really good study telling you how safe it is. Just Google the words popcorn lung, and that'll put your mind at ease.
The other death that's happened this week is a guy called Desmond Etika.
Now, this was less a surprise, because there was videos of him over the last few weeks.
Well, yeah, I was reading about it.
It's great. Like, there was the video of everyone. So he'd put up a tweet about him in a video where he was kind of claiming to be feeling low. That it definitely looked like a suicide video. And so everyone phoned the police. So then the police and the media were at his apartment outside asking him to come out. He'd locked himself in. And he kept saying he was going to phone his lawyers. And within 9 days, he's killed himself.
So I've got an article here that sort of does the whole thing in a very short. So on April the 16th, Amofah tweeted that he was going to kill himself with a pistol that he'd bought from a gun store in Long Island.
I mean, that's detail heavy.
Lead to his arrest and hospitalisation. Someone who'd dated him for 6 years said that
sure she did.
He'd been fine and that she'd been with him all day observing him and that he was okay now. Do
you want my autograph, and also where you can get my OnlyFans page?
Days later, he posted a picture of himself holding a gun, which that woman said was fake. On April 29th, after tweeting various cryptic, anti-Semitic and homophobic messages, he blocked his close friends. Later that day, he live streamed.
Because you only care if your close friends think you're homophobic and anti-Semitic.
Right, I'm putting the good shit behind a paywall.
He live streamed himself
getting
detained by the police to 19,000 people on Instagram after a concerned fan called the police about what he was posting. He was detained that week later for fighting with a police officer and then went on the YouTube channel Drama Alert for an interview, which he claimed he was the Antichrist and he wanted to purge all life.
I mean, he's not half the rock and roll YouTube gamer, is he?
Is that what he
That's all he did on
YouTube?
That's what
he was known
famous
for doing those, the over the top reaction videos.
Yeah.
So if Nintendo put out a new video saying what new product was coming out, he did the big amped up over the top.
Right.
He's famous for nothing.
Yeah, but it's another young person away. Like, there's a platform there that's created a certain amount of fame that's ultimately led him to make a decision. Like, if he'd worked at Foot Locker or had an apprenticeship as a electrician, then it maybe would have been the same outcome, but it might not have been. Like, these things are fucking just turning so toxic. There's too much advertising money, there's too much profit being made that it'll never ever get looked at. It'll just the irony is that the tribute videos will probably get quite a lot of hits.
And this week as well, there were the
you know what I mean?
The overreaction videos of his suicide.
What? Oh my god!
Also, Nintendo have a new DS game out.
It's fun because I was saying the other week that I'd ended up watching some people opening packs of Pokemon cards, and that was the thing that made me stop, was that overreaction. Like when somebody got a shiny, they threw their chair across the room, they flipped a table.
There was a tweet last week that made me think about you and the Pokemon, where a guy had a particularly hard week, and a lot of people shared and retweeted it. And it was, but after a particularly hard week, he said that he thought that people that gave people a hard time for having niche or quirky hobbies should really fucking just stop it. If things, bring a bit of joy to people, you should just let them roll with it without sort of negative comments. I'm like, fuck that, Pokemon. Fuck that.
I agree wholeheartedly.
So I was thinking about you.
Well, I was thinking about you because I've moved on this week.
But you realise, Gary, that wasn't the purpose of the bullying, though. The purpose of bullying was that felt like that was your highlight of the stories between.
No, that wasn't the purpose.
You shut up.
That wasn't the purpose of the purpose of the bullying. Advising,
aggressively advising, through feelings.
The aggressive hint was there's a lot of other fucking shit he should have been doing at that point.
Yeah,
it was the procrastination that caused the exasperation.
I feel like that's what I just said, though. You just put it better. Like, if he'd done all the things you're saying he'd doing and still then got some Pokemon cards and watched that, I'd have been fine with it.
Aye. But to sit there and admit he'd done 6 hours
the same way
a couple of days a week was too much.
You're quite right, it was.
The classic, you don't get your iPad till you've done your homework.
Yeah.
Do what you need to do first, and then you can
feast
have
or
your fun.
famine, isn't
it? This week I have, amongst my other positive stuff that we'll talk about, been watching some.
Well, I'm going to negate that. Don't worry.
I ended up watching videos of a guy.
Can you see up my sleeve?
a German guy from New Zealand playing.
Well, what is he, Gary?
A German guy from New Zealand. Previously from Germany, now from New Zealand.
Okay.
So he has a mixed accent, which is quite interesting.
Okay.
Playing Pro Cycling Manager on the PC.
You sent me this.
I got really in depth.
I do think you'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
How do we look at it?
Right.
Augustine Hammerstein.
What I'm saying is, Gary.
Yes.
Is there's too much online stuff.
No, there is. You're right.
And you pretty much put my gas at the peep by acting on a tip of getting outside and going to a beach.
Mm-hmm.
Did we talk about it on here?
No, we did.
Or was that a side message?
No, we spoke about it.
We've talked about him going, but we've not talked about him being.
So that's the first time Gary in a long time's acted on something positively.
Yep.
Rather than just looking at us blankly going, yeah.
Yeah, so guy, don't wait till later. Talk about it now.
So that was the celebrity death section.
Listen, again, young people, if it's getting too fucking hard, give us a shout.
But not Chris.
And I will tell you some stuff about my life, and you'll kind of hopefully go, do you know what? There is people worse off. Honestly, I'm right in the fucking hole now, man. Like, you see, even when I'm in the shower, I'm sweating. That's how fucking bad things are, isn't it? And listen, I know that you can give yourself pep talks and say things are going to get better, and you can go, this doesn't define me. Like, I have intrinsic value outside what I do, and it's really fucking hard. And you go, my thoughts, actions, words, still, even they don't define you. It's a horrible situation. And there's only so many times you can fucking listen to Eye of the Tiger. Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to be...
But what does help is talking to people. So if you've got somebody you can talk to, if you've not got somebody, don't talk to John Walker about it, because you'll say, John, I'm having this fucking problem, and then he will tell you about 3 successes he has had in that week. And each one of them will make you feel your self-esteem will just take a... If you need somebody just to listen, and you've got nobody, we'll try and get you whatever you're needing.
I hate saying this because it's probably such a worn-out book that people have talked about now, and it's the Mark Maron, the Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Right.
I was listening to this on Audible. I've read it before. I was listening to it this morning.
Fucking 2 books in Audible.
And I was driving.
He's read 2 books.
I'm on phone now. But I'm on, and it's just the idea of in your life you only have so many fucks to give. And I was giggling at the bit when he got to, if you're stuck in car traffic and you're bothered by the guy that's yo-yoing in and out of lanes that you can see ahead of you. And I found myself yesterday, so I listened to that maybe a couple of days ago, and I was driving to work yesterday, and that exact scenario happened to me, where I was watching a guy who was probably about 500 yards in front of me try to speed up somebody's arse, and I was getting really angry, and I just started giggling to myself, going like, fucking grow up, John. This isn't what needs to bother you at this time in the day.
Another John Walker success story.
That's actually a Mark Maron success story.
I don't think he wrote that.
Yeah, he did. I mean, his name's on it, so there's someone else very disappointed.
But Richard and Judy put a lot of... Do you know what I mean? Their names, Oprah's names in a lot of books.
Yeah. How good's Audible? They need to sponsor us,
really
though.
Good.
Fucking tremendous.
Let's talk about Gary's positive story.
Last Thursday, I got given the opportunity to go along to a motivational speaking course. And I was very sceptical.
Yeah, you never come to mine.
I was very
sceptical.
I was very sceptical, but the guy was potentially looking for my help.
Okay.
So I thought I'll go along and see what he does, and it was really, really, really good.
Had he not caught them all?
Go on.
So it was like
Just wearing them down.
a full day sort of thing. 3 croissants in the morning and a little pick me up.
Okay.
And it was just like techniques, how to set yourself goals, how to hold yourself accountable, and how to
A lot of shit you were needing.
yeah. Just get, and you know, how to like take something that seems like a big deal and break it down into tiny small chunks. Some of it drifted off into areas that I was like, okay, come on, it's gone a bit.
What would you say was drifted off?
There was stuff like, taking things like, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Okay.
That's science fact.
Fact.
So if you are positive, then you give out positivity and you attract positivity to you.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I see what you're saying. I get it. That's a good message, but it's certainly not science.
I think, though, it does work in the sense that you do get back what you give.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And if you don't, at least you've been positive.
Yeah, but people who expect it to be instant, that's sometimes people's problem. People don't realise the pound you drop in a homeless guy's cup you might get a job in 4 weeks. You've not even connected the dots.
The guy himself said...
no, I think it's in a more personal level. Like in relationships, you know, if you're positive with somebody, you'll get positivity back.
Yeah, happening.
But you think that's...
No, I think it's a good message, but I think trying to tie it to some sort of science is not necessary.
Okay.
But if that's what people needed to hear, then why not? If somebody needs to hear, oh, that's science, so I can now think like that. But
see, I'm getting him to talk negatively about it now.
But there was a couple of people in the audience that were talking about that, the book The Secret.
Yep.
And that's a bit like, if you want something good to happen in your life, all you need to do is imagine it.
Visualization.
You visualize it and it'll become true because you visualized it. And he was saying it's not quite as simple as that. Like, if you're thinking about something, you can set goals to work towards it. You can't just go, oh, I thought that was really successful, so therefore now I'm going to be successful. But yeah, I really and I messaged both you guys during the day.
Oh,
like
hated it. Mate, I didn't comment.
I know.
Because I thought it was maybe a one-on-one session, and the guy was maybe saying, well, text this to the people that you want to see that you're making the change.
No, I just did that off my own back.
Off your own back?
Yep.
A stupid fucking message to send.
Don't listen to this negativity.
Right. So you send a positive message.
So
Did you break down the stuff after that and set yourself a couple of wee targets as John suggested?
Yep.
Good.
And
that is a very positive step, Gary.
And my first one was, you know what? Chris gives me advice and things to do to keep myself busy all the time,
which I ignore.
And I was like, I'm gonna go to Heads of Air Park, like he advised.
And how did it work out?
I had a fucking brilliant day.
Best day in a long time.
Oh, great. So it was like a little farm feeding, like petting zoo thing.
Did you get the pellets?
Got the 2 bags of pellets.
It's too much though, isn't it?
No.
What, did you give all
the
pellets?
We went round twice.
How much was that? Would a 10-year-old child enjoy that?
Oh, mate, amazing.
Yeah.
Aye. So
see the thing about Heads of Air, is see when you go into one section, is see these parts that you go to, you think everything's got a showpiece. You know, like the zip slide will maybe be the showpiece. You know, the Flying Fox, you go there for the Flying Fox. See, every area you went to, it was like the best showpiece out of somebody else's. Like, see to be firing ball cannons.
So there's a lot. When we initially pulled up in the car park, there was a lot of coaches. And I was suddenly like, end of school term.
It's going to be busy.
It was busy, but what was busy was all the slides and go-karts, rides. All the actual animal bit was empty.
Right, okay.
Which, on one hand, I was like, these kids don't realise how good this is. But that meant we had the whole place almost to ourselves. So, and as we've discussed before, I love nothing more than touching an animal.
We've heard that. Do we need to say allegedly, or if he said it, is it thing?
Oh, he said it.
But the way that, obviously, they're very used to getting the bags of feed at people's hands. So like, even deer were walking when they seen you coming and seen you had the little brown bag, they were walking up to you and start putting their mouth out the fence and then just eating the food right out of your hand.
Gary, they don't do that to everybody.
Just me.
It's Gary.
They seen you.
3 reindeer
Reindeer aren't real, Gary.
There was a little kid walking by going, Mummy, is that Santa's reindeer? And she was going, yeah. Just say no.
Aye.
Deer, llama, alpacas, goat, really affectionate goats, which was weird because I tend to think of goats as evil bastards. But
it's just bad PR.
Yeah. Donkeys. They had tapirs, but the tapirs obviously wouldn't come and eat out your hand. But I had a really great day.
What did you get out of the trip?
I got good feeling.
Because you did something
positive. I walked for ages. I forgot to turn my Pokemon Go app on before I did, so I didn't. Because it didn't.
Imagine you'd fucking killed an alpaca. Because you were playing that game.
No, but the positive thing is I wasn't thinking, if I'm going to do lots of steps, I better get in my Pokemon app on. I didn't even think about it the whole day.
Did you laugh?
Aye.
Lots of laughs.
I went on that big pillow.
How good's the big pillow?
There was loads of kids on it and it started to rain.
Did they ring a bell? They say that's adult time?
No, they closed it for the rain and the rain stopped and they came along and opened the gates and there was nobody really about and I was like, I'm on that. It was brilliant. Wait, really fun.
Did you feel like a kid?
Yeah.
That's the feeling that you miss.
I believe you got sent a video.
Yep.
I've not seen the video.
Oh, it's just a man.
Will we put it on Patreon?
Yeah, well, it's only maybe 6 or 7 seconds, but it's just a man
bouncing on a big
and a pillow.
Enjoying.
It's like,
how long did you stay in the pillow?
Oh, about 5 minutes.
You didn't just go on for the video?
No. I was having a great time.
Right.
It's like the exact halfway point between the feeling of a trampoline and a bouncy castle.
Oh, that's quite good.
I'd say it's about the size of a big room, and it's just one continuous bulge, and you just jump away.
Let's see.
So highly recommended, Gary.
Oh yeah. I mean, especially like if you're a big kid or you've got kids to take, yeah, well worth it.
All over it.
And what did you do after that?
Then went into.
You sent me. I've seen some other pictures.
Yep, went into Ayr Town Centre, which is somewhere I've never actually been. I've only ever been to the football ground and straight back out.
He says Ayrton Centre. You're meant to jump in with the F1
that
driver.
I'm not doing that.
What's that?
Ayrton Centre. That is a giant pillar.
Yeah, it's really good.
Right.
I need to be on that. See, now I'm jealous.
But see when there's other people on it.
It goes at different.
See, that's what you're wanting.
There is a sign up that's like, adults, if there are a lot of children on this, please be careful.
The displacement is an issue.
Yeah, like if I had jumped on that and there'd been a load of kids, those kids would have went far.
Yeah.
I mean, that in itself has its own enjoyment.
That can never get, but there's lots of trampolines and other shit running about it.
Yeah, loads of stuff like that.
The venue isn't important. The fact that you went out of the house and acted on an impulse.
So went into Ayrton Centre and got
Side at Imola.
Got chips. A chippy.
Always better at the seaside.
Ate them outside. Very good.
Amazing.
And that, my whole life I've heard people talk about Ayr Beach. I never realised. You think Scottish Beach, and I think about the Lochside and places at Helensburgh. Yeah. And I got there and I was like, oh, it's an actual sandy beach.
Oh, you mean it's like gilly? It's actual sand, Gary?
I know now that sounds ridiculous, but I just always assumed that we didn't have. I knew up the sort of Western Isles there's some sort of sandy beaches, but I didn't think we had anything like that.
So
here.
Close?
Yeah.
How long did it take to get there?
From Balloch, about an hour and a half.
Brilliant.
And
somebody for Ayr that day probably went to Balloch
and had a great day doing something. Signing the protest against Flamingoland.
It's actually a very good Ricky Gervais quote right there, Gary, when he wanted to travel the world and his mum went, there's loads of places in Reading.
Yes.
So I walked up and down the beach, got my feet wet.
Brilliant.
Saw a dead,
Reconnect.
yep. Saw a dead jellyfish. Saw
Brilliant.
a dead gannet.
Can't remember the last time I see a dead jellyfish either.
I feel like I'm inspiring to John. This is like a big flip.
Yeah, these are things I would do. Yeah.
And then listeners of Vonnie and Dave came down after their work with their dogs, and we had a
You
walk the
met
dogs.
up with Vonnie and Dave as well?
Walk the dogs along the beach.
How did... Mate, you're on a beach with dogs, with friends, looking at the horizon.
So was this Vonnie's dogs?
Yeah.
You're realising your mistake your whole life now, aren't you?
I've always wanted a dog.
Yeah, the cat's the thing.
But that's not...
Cats are too independent. The dogs give
Yeah,
you the love you need, Gary.
I love my cat.
How much would Gary get out of a dog?
Dogs are amazing.
But we've talked about this before, right? I've since I was a little kid, I always wanted a dog.
See, if you got a dog, can you call it Rectum?
I've always wanted to call it Barkley.
Same.
I've got my heart set on. When I was younger, I always wanted a beagle, but now I've grown old and mushy. I want a corgi.
Mate, but these dogs lead horrible, horrible lives.
Corgis?
Yeah, because of the inbreeding.
No. Corgis are a pure inbreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breathing issues,
No.
intestines are too long.
No. You're thinking of pugs and sausage dogs.
Yeah, you're thinking of a different dog, definitely.
Corgis are all right,
Apart
from being Welsh.
Corgis are alright. Do they bark a lot, corgis?
Yeah, and they nip at your heels because they think you're a big coo.
Oh, they're all plus points, I suppose.
And then on the way...
If I had a corgi, I'd call it Michael Fagan.
On the way back home, I went into... what's the shopping centre on the way back out?
Oh, I don't know.
The shopping centre at the back of Paisley, Silverburn.
Silverburn.
I went into the big Tesco's there because I'd heard of a new product.
Just to interrupt, did you do the electric bray? Was it just too much?
No, Vonnie made a point to let you know that it's not magnetic.
Okay. Vonnie taking the Tony coffee roll this week?
Yeah. But no, it didn't. By the time we'd done all that,
That's for another day.
my back was fucking killing me, but it felt good.
Yeah.
So I'd heard of a new product on Facebook.
Okay.
I would like to say when I was 6 years old, I actually invented it. And I asked my mum why she couldn't get it for me.
Was it podcasts?
No.
I always assumed you invented podcasts.
It was white chocolate Cocoa Pops.
Can anybody recommend any good crime podcasts?
So I went into Tesco's and very desperately ran to the white chocolate Cocoa Pops as like, this is the same status as Ninja Turtles Lego of something I invented 25 years before it came out.
Right.
And ran into my house, got my favourite bowl and my favourite spoon, which...
The fucking cat had been wiping and licking that bowl and spoon the whole time he was at the house.
There's two different people in the world, right? There's people who have a favourite bowl and spoon, and there's people who take the spoon and bowl that's available.
I've been trying for, I would say, a good 15 years to find another bowl that this is exact shape. It's got a very flat bottom and then steep sides, and it just seems to be...
Do you know what you could do? You could register yourself in a clay making class and make one yourself.
Or just
I made this fucking thing.
Make moulds of the bowl I've got.
Aye, I made this.
This bowl has been my favourite bowl since the 80s. And like what about
the Super Bowl? Is that just a bowl to you?
This is the Super Bowl.
When I moved out with my mum and dad, I was like, Mum, can I take this bowl with me? And she was like, yeah. It was like, it was like a bowl. It was from a dinner set in the late 80s that every other thing got replaced, and I wouldn't let them throw this bowl.
See, after the corgi revolution, in my head, like I can see a faded Charles and Diana on their like a commemoration.
And this particular spoon is a perfect circle,
right?
Which is not very common anymore as well.
What, like a soup spoon?
No, smaller, like a double teaspoon.
I know this is Gary's positive section, but I can sense listeners drifting here. Did you have a good day?
I had a fucking brilliant day.
Well, what's next?
The white chocolate Cocoa Pops were really disappointing, but that doesn't matter.
No, but that does,
because that's like a metaphor for buying things.
That's the synthetic thing.
Yeah,
that you thought would make everything better, but it was the getting outside and meeting people and animals and
like a metaphor. That's perfect.
Aye,
perfect, Gary.
So,
and it also ties in with your positivity meeting about breaking things down.
Yeah,
you could actually put these things into your columns now and go, that made me genuinely happy inside. This synthetic thing that I thought was going to solve all my problems didn't.
Yeah, so I would sum it up by saying, get outside when you can, stick your hand in as many animals' mouths as they'll let you, and don't bother with white chocolate Cocoa Pops because they're not chocolatey.
That's the best section Gary's brought to the podcast.
And if you see a giant pillow, jump on it.
Aye.
Yeah.
Do you know, see, just even on that one, like, have you ever done a roly-poly and not laughed at yourself afterwards? Just simple things. You don't need a giant pillow.
Do you know my papa used to do a fitness test with me and my brother when we went there after school, and it was, could you do it? And I do it with my kids now every couple of months. Can you do a forward roll and stand straight up without your hands touching the ground?
Yep.
Wow. Now Charlie can do it, and Ruby laughs when nearly there. So if you're listening to this now, go out to see in your work, take your headset off and go out to the cubicle. And the corridor that leads you down to the classroom and the toilets and the water cooler, just stand with your hands straight up and forward roll now and straight up and onto your feet. Oh, well done, you.
See if you've not done a forward roll in a long time.
Yeah.
Try getting yourself in the position of balancing your neck a bit from the ground, because you'd be surprised how quickly you forget how to tuck your neck under. I'd done a forward roll the first time, maybe like in 10 years, a couple of years ago, coming home from a music festival.
Just face first.
We were walking through a field, and I battered my neck, like at the top of my neck, because I hadn't thought about going over properly.
Slow motion?
Yeah, I was blazing, so I was running into the forward roll.
So drunk gymnastics, not so much.
It's funny, being on that big bouncy pillow made me remember when I was a baby. I don't remember, but my mum would always put me in one of those like bouncy door frame things and just leave me, and I'd just bounce for hours. And growing up, like I always, like any chance to be on a bouncy castle or a trampoline or anything, totally loved it. And it's been so long since I've bounced on anything.
You've literally neglected that part of your life, Gary.
Yeah, I just want to bounce, and I feel like as an adult there should be more opportunity.
There is.
There are opportunities.
You can literally bounce off of a curb when you're coming off the road. Just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So do it in front of a bus.
I used to love a good skip as well.
Gary, you can skip whenever you want.
I know.
Your only thing stopping you, you think people are looking at you. Nobody gives a fuck.
Some of the people I see jogging, like, see if you see MD jogging, I just go, fucking well done. Do you know, like, kind of, you're out there, you're like, big red face, fucking everything going, you're making the effort to make things better. It's fucking well done.
Anyone in Cumbernauld will know this same wee guy. He looks like Santa, right? He actually wears like a running outfit, like tiny wee 70s shorts, and like a proper marathon vest. And I hadn't seen him for about a year, so I suspected the worst, because he's definitely like in his like 60s or 70s.
Oh, he bought a bike.
Seen him out running last week.
Brilliant.
He's still alive, so I'm assuming he either moved away or he had some sort of health problem, and he just went, right, as soon as I'm running, I'm back out. Such a nice moment. Anyone from Cumbernauld would know exactly what I'm talking about, because he just seems to run for miles.
It's that local celebrity that everybody knows.
He is for me. He is the guy in the marathon outfit.
We had quite a few in Blantyre, but a lot of it was to do with mental health.
Yeah, that's the problem with all those, isn't it? It's all dead funny when you're younger. Then you realise that those people actually need help, and there isn't help for them.
Genie Scratcher, Douglas, Fade Out as a grass graffiti. There was quite a lot of it run about. Yeah,
Balloch has two. One more recent than the other.
Skips Woman at Central Station.
Skips Woman?
Yep, just always eating a packet of skips.
But this feels like it's been too positive. How do we get this back to being our usual self?
Did you see the story?
Ask me if I want to talk about it.
Scared to ask. Chris, what do you want to talk about this week?
We've been trying to stay away from the fucking merry-go-round of Boris Johnson, Nigel Farage, Brexit, Tory leadership. But there was an interesting double standard this week with the Boris Johnson neighbour reporting the argument.
Yeah.
And also, is it Markfield? Mike Field.
Frank Fields.
No, who was the Tory that fucking...
Is it not Frank Fields?
No, Mark Field, the
guy that grabbed a woman?
It's not Frank. Say it was Mark. Mark or Mike.
Does the guy grab the Greenpeace person?
Yeah, because he felt threatened. But that is just a fucking version of society, isn't it? Where a Tory MP will punch a woman to protect bankers.
Did you not think it was a bit weird?
She was in? Or was she a guest?
No, she convinced her way in.
I'm not going to challenge him.
Apparently, she just said to security, "I've got a very important message to give," and they went, "All right, okay."
I mean, yeah. He should maybe like go and grab the security by the throat.
The stills were horrible. Like, it all happened really quick, but the stills, sort of...
Mark Field.
Right. I don't know.
Have you seen the footage?
I've seen it. I'm still torn on what my opinion on it is. See, if I replaced Tories and bankers with anyone else, I'd go an uninvited guest charging towards guests sitting down. Aye, if you're not invited, fuck you. That's literally it.
There is a
because you literally don't know.
There is a certain aspect of it is weird to me. That is like, because she was a woman, you should have known she wasn't a threat. Which is like, aren't we not supposed to?
No, but his overreaction, his body language is everything that's fucking wrong with
it. And it wasn't his place to.
Aye.
Yeah.
But I also didn't see security rush very quickly to when he grabbed her. He still had like 10 seconds of having her.
I think
they were saying that the security were over the other side of the room because other people would
protecting the real money in the room.
Yeah. Aye, that'd be it. Aye. Aye, because they were very far back in the tables, weren't they?
Aye. The
speaking was going down where she had just came from, right at the front. They were the cheap seats.
But then the whole thing's going. Luckily, the whole thing was stage managed. The same way the Boris Johnson sitting at a garden set. Do you know, with the girlfriend? You know,
did you hear about that photograph? So that photograph came out at the weekend of him and his partner.
Going, everything's all right.
Yeah. Somebody was at that place at the weekend.
Yeah.
He said I was there all weekend. They weren't there. And they had to come out today and go, "Oh no, that's an older photo."
Painting buses. That's what he does. It makes.
Mate, that is the murmurings of a blazing.
Just how fucking much bullshit are you going to need to listen to? And then see the way the media has turned on the couple that reported the incident to the police, going, you can go through all the grey areas, what's black and white, what you should do, whatever. This is a person that's put himself forward to fucking run the show.
Yeah.
Like, and voters.
Well, it's not that long ago when the new domestic assault laws were all brought in. The people were like, people need to be more able to say, "Excellent. I'm worried that something wrong is happening there."
I mean, he was on.
So see a newspaper outlet that has fucking listened to people's answer machine messages, hacked into phones, computers, are then going to complain about somebody reporting an incident to the police about domestic abuse. Going, who's fucking still supporting this media outlet?
Are they not just raging that they didn't find out about it first?
They would have suppressed it the same way they have about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They would have kept it down.
It amazes me that I seen an interview with him from earlier today on LBC.
Is that the Nick Ferrari one?
Is that the one where he asked him about Gordon Brown?
Aye. He tries to make out that he's won the interview by going, "Oh, is that you scurrying away? Or you don't want to come under scrutiny?" Going, "Well, do you know what? I've got another 30 seconds. I'll ask you 3 questions. Bang, bang, bang." And the 3 questions that he asked are all recent topical things that Boris has fucked up. And see Jeremy Hunt up here fucking drinking cans of Iron Brew. I mean, get yourself to fuck. Honest, that's what it's come down to. It's a fucking sad state of affairs. But the reason I brought this up was the press coverage.
Yeah.
But you're then going to name it. Was it Pearson came out and says we should name and shame these people that have went to the police?
Aye.
Oh.
But then that really does require somebody to then speak out against that, because there's
quite a few lawyers have. The Secret Barrister on Twitter tweets quite a lot. Her tweet was...
is that the person that retweeted the Nigel Farage interview on Sky News where she went, just to be clear, in UK law, this is Nigel Farage committing treason against the UK government.
Perhaps.
It was like an interview he did on Sky where he said he's been talking to Donald Trump about a trade deal.
He was going to take a delegation and negotiate a trade deal. Farage is...
I'm sure it is that person.
Gary, you'll know this. Has Farage ever been voted in?
No.
Why is he on my telly all the fucking time?
Because the BBC like him, because he's
gets
opinionated
figures,
and gets stories in the papers about the BBC.
If we can do this as much as possible, right? See if you see something on Twitter that enrages you, whether it's an article or not, do us a favour, right? Screenshot the bit you see. Snip it so we can still see the headline, but do not retweet the actual article. And then share that so that you're avoiding the issue. I've done this when I've seen wee guys tweet stuff. I think I'd seen something similar to what you were talking about before, about the young guys that paid 40 quid for and homeless guy to put deep heat in his balls, for example.
Aye.
See stuff like that. I never even tweeted took the guy's name out. Like, I just tweeted the thing he wrote and just put it out.
There's a
what
lot
a wee dick.
There's a lot of poverty porn.
Aye. So just don't retweet any of it, even. Like, just cut it yourself. It's the same with any clickbait. Cut it, say what you want to say, but do not share the article, because that's all that matters.
Yeah, if you don't like it,
don't share it.
Don't click on it, because that's your currency.
Aye, that's it. If it keeps expanding, somebody clicks on it to read what it was actually. You've already lost by then. If you try and read it, you've already lost.
Where the fucking Herald playing it? They're going, you've read your 5 stories this month. Please subscribe. I was like, no, I'll catch you next month.
However, see that was the thing I was going to say about the New York Times, is they do that with everything. So it's like, I think you get to read 4 articles and then it's like $2 a month to get unlimited access. But they've actually shown a lot of their money's gone back into retractions and investigating where the bad information's came from. So they're actually doing it. It was a New York Times article I read on all the retractions they'd done, but they'd showed where the money was going. They're going, this is where we got this story from on Trump. It was incorrect. Here's where it came from. It was a source within here. We got it wrong. Here's what we're retracting. And that's what they said. A lot of that work's coming from because they don't have the money to pay staff to go and look at stuff they've printed wrong. Because they're like, we need to do the fucking next thing, so we'll just pay but we'd rather spend time with people actually critically going back to the work and going, where did we get this wrong? Do the article again, fix it. And I was like, so that if the Herald were doing stuff like that, I would pay an extra couple of quid to read their articles if I thought I'm going to actually get a decent level of journalism here.
Yeah.
Because the Guardian do that, and for the most part, the Guardian is alright. For the most part. So, I think if you're going to charge and make it show what you're charging for, I quite like that. Because New York Times have been excellent at it, and like, just done a few things I've read, they've totally retracted it and went, and it's been a big article on their website as well.
Well, why not just fucking fact check the thing? Do you know what I mean? Get it right first time. Pay once.
But because we live in a 24-hour news cycle, you need to get it out as quick as
you're
possible.
Not first,
it doesn't matter.
No bother.
If you're five days late with all the facts, it doesn't matter. The story's already out.
Yeah.
That is the issue.
What was the one that entered that came into my head earlier when we were talking about it? Aye, it's. You were talking about the football journalist that just fabricated a story, put it in Twitter. The player came out and went, "Nah, that's a lot of shite."
Aye, a journalist said that Andy Robertson is told Kieran Tierney he needs to leave Celtic, and Andy Robertson instantly. But then he does the thing I'm asking him not to. He retweets the article and goes, "Load of rubbish," and you're like. But that to me is like...
No, but see if you get that wrong as a journalist, then your work dries up.
See the SFA. The SFA should have lawyers for this. He's accused Scotland's national captain of being on international duty.
Of tapping up a player.
That's what he's accused. That's a serious allegation. The SFA should be suing the paper and just blackballing them, going, you know what, you've no access to our players next time.
Let me just make this clear to all the listeners, and I'm going to stand by this, right?
So angry, man.
I'm not going to Arsenal this summer.
So you're not transferring to Arsenal TV?
No.
I've actually... I don't think Chris Conroy's telling the truth. I'm aware of a bid that's coming in from him.
Installments.
But it's that whole... It seems particular to Glasgow as well, of like the SFA, the Daily Record, STV, the teams. And it's a nice big back scratchy circle of... You can say really whatever you want. That's the whole thing about, how much is the war chest?
Look at fucking Frank McAvey. I'm sorry to get onto the football stuff like that. Partick Thistle release an LGBTQ rainbow strip.
Yeah.
Trimming on their strip.
Yeah, it's like a white top with like the rainbow down the side.
It's
quite a good idea.
It's a strip of support.
And Partick Thistle of course, over the last 10 years have had like very standout away strips. Like they had the pink camouflage.
Aye.
And they like to do something that gets them a bit of attention.
Kingsley.
Yeah, Kingsley the
Aye.
Sun.
Frank McAvenny writes a piece in the fucking Sun. The Sun. About going how this isn't a good idea. Parents won't pick up the strip for their kids. Oh,
That was his exact quote, was that parents would not want their 6 or 7 year old kid wearing a football top that would then teach them about same-sex relationships before they were mature enough to understand.
we've spoke about this before, right? See that strip with the LGBTQ symbol on it?
Yeah.
That's not for you, Frank McAvenny.
No.
We do not need your comment on this. And see the people that are buying the Sun? Most likely it's not fucking for you either.
No.
Do you know
The crossover of people who buy a Partick Thistle strip and people who read The Sun is not a very huge audience.
Do you know who it's for? We've got a friend that we all met through comedy, Susie McCabe,
Yep.
who wrote a lot about it, saying how
Did she?
it was the first thing really in sport that had been like kind of inclusive. She's tweeted about it a couple of tweets in a row, and I was kind of going, yeah, that's all it's for. There will be a Partick Thistle fans, and there's not a lot of Partick Thistle. What's Partick Thistle's average attendance? About 2,500 if you're lucky. There will be parents in Partick Thistle Sports Club that will have a gay, lesbian, bisexual.
Right.
There'll be somebody in there. They now have a representation on a football team. That's all that matters. See, for them, that's one person. The strip aside, it's fucking nice.
Yeah.
How many strips are they going to sell to gay people
Oh, probably
that
the
have no
majority.
fucking interest in Mary Hill?
Aye.
So from a business point of view,
Makes sense.
the LGBTQ community have been ahead of the curve. Music, fashion, films. Where that community spends its money ultimately makes it into the mainstream 10, 15, 20 years later.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying Partick Thistle Champions League 15 years?
Frank McAvenny,
Aye.
The Sun. Nobody's looking for your comment on it.
What always really gets me as well about these guys is even just when they're talking about football, those ex-pros have never paid to watch a game of football in their life.
Aye.
So their opinion's less valid than John's.
see, if you even extrapolate it up, it's the same thing. Boris Johnson and Nigel Farage's view on migration patterns of Europeans and Asians and Americans does not affect him.
No, it's actually less important to them than...
It affects the actual people that want to migrate or move.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you speak to them?
Wasn't there a story in the papers today about a Scottish-born woman who's basically been told to get out of the country?
Which country?
She was born in Glasgow.
Right.
But it's part of that Windrush thing. Her parents...
Fucking Theresa May wanted to put a Windrush statue up.
Yeah. So she was born in 1983 and the rules changed in late 1982 and her parents never found out that the rules had changed. So she was just born. She had a social security number, a national insurance number, a passport, driving licence, bank accounts. And all of a sudden last week she had you got 14 days to get out of the country. To where though? That's what I don't understand.
Aye.
Where that they suggesting that she
Ells
goes.
Hill maternity.
Yeah. It's terrible. Like the whole idea. Well,
It's a fucking island. We all got here in a boat.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've said this before. You don't go to the local and there's a table reserved for the Picts.
See, just on that football, the same thing, the LGBTQ. See if your football club is starting a supporters segment of that club for that group. Same idea. Keep your opinions to yourself. It's not for you. It's the same way there's gay bars in town that you don't need to walk into. See if Rangers, Celtic, Arsenal, whoever it is, want to start an LGBT supporters club. It's not for you. You go where you go with. It's for the people who think they need representation within the club.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's all it's for. You don't need to moan about it.
Straight white people are catered for.
Aye.
My wife and I has this thing, and she calls it green cheese. I hadn't heard the phrase for ages, but she says you couldn't see green cheese go past you, and it's true. See if there's chips on her plate, her chips look better. So I go, can I have one of your chips? She's like, fucking green cheese wouldn't go by you, would it? So the phrase meaning that you would even eat mouldy cheese if it was the yours, right?
Aye.
And this is exactly it. Going, oh, what's happening over there?
What do you need a group for?
You don't need to know.
What do you need a group for?
See, everything that you're interested in, Frank McAvenny, you have pretty decent access to. See, for asking money and power and status for not much talent and not bringing much to the table, you have access. Stop debilitating other people
Aye.
that are trying to get a wee bit of money
definitely.
and a wee bit of power in their community. Stop. Like, because they're getting a wee bit of light, doesn't detract for you. And the reasons that you're doing that are wrong because they come from negativity and hatred.
And John, you were saying, was it Ray Bradshaw, Partick Thistle fan?
I don't hate Pokemon, right? But I dislike you spending so much disproportionate time on it.
Yeah. You were saying Ray Bradshaw put out a tweet pointing out that
he tweeted about it.
Frank McAvenny only has a career because
Relevance.
No, he's only still relevant now because
only an excuse basically carried on a joke about him being a pervert for 15 years too long.
But he never made comment about that in years.
No.
It's alright, he can be portrayed as being a severely perverted, rapey character.
See if there had been an LGBTQ treasure hunting boat that had found treasure 3 days before Frank McAvenny's boat, I could understand his grievance against the community.
It's the problem with gay people, always finding your treasure before you.
That's it.
Because they're excellent map readers.
Yeah.
Have you seen the weather in Central Europe this week? France is due to hit 46 degrees in the next couple of days.
Flooding in Stirling and Edinburgh.
Yes, I also had a friend whose car was basically written off, sitting in a car park. Within 15 minutes, was flooded up to the steering wheel.
I mean,
just drive it away.
I mean, this is where people's stupidity comes into it, though, and I hope the person's listening. Everyone knows where floods.
Was it? I think it was unusually.
I've seen a lot of videos for Stirling, and it's all places where I know that the roads kind of do this.
Aye,
for the podcast, I'm pointing inward.
Going, look at the
But
footage
it's
from
like
Tesco Stirling,
it's
but
like the
right,
bottom of a hill.
right next to the river. Like all the bridges are a clue.
Because there's like bits in St. Croix car park, there's like a corner that you just don't park in if you think it's going to be raining, because you're not getting in your car because it's going to be up to your door. So you just don't park there.
They weren't local, but I don't know the full story.
That's fair enough,
But see, when it comes to climate change, John, you can't band about a serves them right attitude because it is going to affect us all.
Apparently in Paris they're talking about having to have like almost a emergency public holiday.
Yeah, there's been exams cancelled in England as well. Do you know what it would be?
It's meant to be like 28, 29 here as well, isn't it? Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
That's a lot different from 46.
I mean, just by numbers, yeah.
And see, anybody that's going on holiday this week abroad, have a great time when you're away, because there are people when you come back saying, you should just have stayed here. Like, see, because it's nice in one place, it can be nice in another place, and people can go on holiday. Like,
but also, if you are going somewhere where it's tipping 40 degrees, there is a chance that you might die. So just be careful.
Yeah, I mean, hydrate is what we're saying.
Yeah, and if there's any dogs planning on staying in cars,
yeah, this is not a time to be a dog in a car.
take the soft top. That gets some man nerves, that. You know what you would try? Like, it's like Barcelona. See, right, we'll play a game here. Somebody's going to Barcelona. What's the first thing you say to them?
I don't know.
Oh, watch out for pickpockets.
Is that a Barcelona thing? Yeah.
There's
Oh, well, Ramblas. Right, okay, got you.
That's what I mean.
Pickpockets are terrible. Paris, near the Eiffel Tower, that's where they are all the time.
See people that come back holidays and go, what was it like here? What are you fucking bothered for? You've had the best 2 weeks of your fucking life and you want to know what it was like here? It's fucking the green cheese attitude fucking feeding in.
Yeah, what they want to hear is, it was terrible.
See, when my wife and I, when she'd organised that honeymoon, the two is going away to Corfu, the weather was absolutely glorious here. It was fantastic. We're driving to the airport and I'm going, I'm just that excited about my holiday, I don't even care what it's like here.
Yeah, it's not about the weather. It's about the fact that you didn't have to do anything.
But John's of the opinion that if Scotland had a regular temperature of 22 degrees and dry, that it'd be a fantastic place to live. It'd be the best
where would
place
we
in the world.
put all the
Ethnics, gays?
English
They would find a place.
coming here for our water? That's our water.
I know what it is. Or what you're right.
See, when you think about Scotland, that is just perfectly designed to fucking catch water.
Yeah.
Like, it's
like, it reminds me of that bowl that I've got.
What's going to happen though is we are going to get invaded by other countries because of the water supply.
Mm.
So when independence comes, I'm first in putting my kid's name down for the National Guard.
The Telegraph did a poll in Scotland last week,
Right.
On independence. 49 to 51, 49% for independence. And they said, if Boris Johnson was Prime Minister, how would you vote? It was 54% for independence.
Yeah. Who owns the Telegraph?
Russian millionaires, is it not?
I think it might be the Bartley brothers. I think.
I mean, I do think that's probably correct. I think a few months of him, you would be like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, you wouldn't even
pull
have
the
to-
escape cord.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what it is as well? See Donald Trump. The comparison with him and Boris Johnson is ridiculous. See Trump. He speaks with a decent amount of authority. Like, I believe him when he says he was going to. I believe.
Yeah,
when he
even
was-
if it's
see that-
misguided, he believes it's
he
true.
believes it's true. Boris Johnson can't even fucking string a sentence together.
See that woman that came forward and saying that she'd been sexually harassed by Trump. I think it was yesterday, and he said she's not my type. I'm like, mate, you can't even get fucking trousers to fit you right. That any woman could pull you with a shite in her mouth. Look at the fucking.
But see that bulletproof attitude though.
Mate,
That's
see if
literally how
see
you
if
don't get caught up in the politics.
See if Donald Trump was your granda, you'd have priced sheltered housing long ago. The trousers, the hair, the bullshit. You go, get me fuck.
Well, we've said this for ages. He's definitely got dementia.
2 minutes.
Because his vocabulary's all gone. Like, compared to interviews 20 years ago, it's
I
ridiculous.
really wanted you to say vocabulary properly there.
No, never going to happen.
Like the one time you need it. I'm rubbish at that word. Vocabulary.
I'm very bad at saying the TH sound. I always do fa all the time.
Really? I've never noticed that before.
Yeah. Foreign. Four.
That's the thing in a podcast that I'll always hear.
Yeah.
I'm working at it. Like, I would always just said four before instead of four.
4-4.
4-4.
Did I tell you a story when I was working for Coca-Cola? And I was going into... There was a newsagent and a chemist next door to one another.
Right.
And what you find is, see if you're having to go about main streets during the day and go into shops and past chemists, the people that are in collecting the sort of green liquid, the methadone, certain times of the day is really, really, really high. You know, there might be 5 or 6 people. So there was this one I covered, this shop that I covered, and I had to go in and check their fridge and everything like that. And there was a person that I'd seen them in the chemist. They came out the chemist, and I'd bumped into them a couple of times on this sort of wee precinct. There was a couple of shops. Chemist, newsagents, bakers. I've passed the chemist, they're in the chemist. I go into the shop, and then they follow me into the shop, and I'm doing my clipboard, doing my check, and the methadone user was picking up, what do you call those milkshakes? Fridgies?
Yazoo or fridge.
Yazoo or Frigi.
Right, so it was Yazoo's, right? Pick up one yellow banana, one red strawberry, pink, right? Then there's a fridge in the baker's next door, so I have to get into the baker's, and then they come in. And straight to the front of the queue, and he says, have you got any cheesecake left? And the woman behind the counter said, no, there was an office party. They came in and they bought the whole cheesecake and took it. It was for a birthday party. So the boy then says, see your donuts, see the cream in it? Is it real cream or is it synthetic? And the woman says, it's synthetic. He says, we'll give 3D donuts with a synthetic cream in it. Now, the science behind this is, see when you've had your methadone hit, see of all the drinks that's in the drinks cabinet,
Yeah.
Yazoo is the highest sugar content. And then cheesecake, and then high sugar donuts are the highest in sugar, or the cheesecake would have been higher. But the sugar done raises the methadone high.
Okay.
So the amount of science in the diet, the amount of background. So your daily routine is go methadone, Yazoo, and something with high sugar at the bakers.
Sounds like a great day.
And that keeps your fucking about in pillows down the air. But see, for the science and the nutrition to get passed down that high, passed down the line, going, if you use that in a positive way,
Fucking yes.
if you use that, if these things were taught in school in a more positive way, going food for fuel, it would be. But it was the way he said it. It was like, is it real or synthetic? Synthetic. Going to be getting new stuff.
Yeah.
He was just using it in a positive, negative.
It was like Jesse from Breaking Bad.
Yeah. I know there's people listening to this and all they would have heard going, well, fucking methadone junkies, then you should just lock them up. But people do have value and skill. It just maybe pisses you off how they use it.
I think that's as good a place as any to leave this week.
Perfect.
Chris, I love you.
Cool.
Bye.